folks, and welcome to another Saturday morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
I'm Benjamin. Hang on, I gotta wait 5 minutes for my voice to catch up.
We stopped there. We're ready to do this. We're ready to make decisions. But I will tell you this. We were mentioning this before we started. This one does not allow us as many decisions as the last one did. Because we went 6 pages one time, the first podcast, without making a decision. And this time, we went 4 separate pages before finally getting a decision on whether we should go, make a run for the bus, or just not do anything. Oh, you're going to wait 5 minutes.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to another Saturday morning Samoflange.
He's 38 seconds behind me.
I'm Benjamin.
Oh, no.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, no, there's a delay.
If you risk crossing the street to get to the bus station, turn to page 105.
And if we don't...
If we stand there and piss our pants...
Let's stand there and piss our pants. What happens if you stand
there
there
and piss your pants? Turn to page 86.
No. Dog,
I want to find out. What do we just do? We just stand there.
Yeah, you were saying that, so let's stand there. Let's go for it.
All right.
86.
Well, the record continues. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
We have another illustration. We still have warped auras around the teacher, and
this is horrible.
We are crying about it.
Yeah. For 5 minutes.
I feel like there's an 80s reference about crying and nobody crying in baseball, a 90s reference, I guess.
I don't know, but yeah.
There's no crying. Are you crying?
There's no there's crying 5 minutes.
No crying in the cave of time. The risk of being hit by a car that you won't be able to see for 5 minutes seems too great. You just don't dare cross any streets, and if you can't cross any streets, you're stuck at this school 5 minutes ahead of your own time! Exclamation points! You walk back aimlessly into the school building. You sit down outside the principal's office and bury your face into your hands.
Now, hold on. That wasn't a choice to go back to the principal's office.
Correct. That's what I'm upset about.
It was just stay there.
So should we go back quickly and look at...
We will later on, but keep going.
I want to see how quickly we die from crossing the street.
We will later on.
And what is this book trying to teach us?
But that wasn't the decision.
It's giving us Supreme Court justices and history lessons and everything else, and telling us about Mars and Venus and Jupiter.
It was telling us to stay in place, not go to the principal's office. All right, anyway, go ahead.
But this is supposed to be choose your own adventure.
I know. I feel like we don't have.
You know what? Atreyu didn't just dick around and go back to the principal's office. He ran. He ran, Atreyu. He ran.
He did a little when he was kind of talking to
the big turtle,
nothing, the servant of the nothing.
Yeah, the servant.
What
was the wolf's name?
You just wasn't he just the servant of the nothing?
Horrifying. No, he had a name.
Don't sit there and talk to him. You know what? You say, "Hey, your shoe's untied." When he looks down, you run. Dude was scary.
I want to try to recreate that.
You run and try not to slip on the piss puddle you made earlier when you saw him.
And what is that? He says, but nothing is power.
Man, power. He shows his claw.
Who has the power?
He shows his
what does he say? He who has the something has the power.
Nothing.
Yes. Nothing. Yeah. Man, that was good stuff. Still scary. I got goosebumps just thinking about that.
Yeah, I know.
That's good stuff.
Go back to the turtle.
We do not know who the oracle is.
Listen, dude, speed it up. Artax just died. I am not in the mood.
For real.
All right, let's do
this. Now we're back in the principal's office. We bury our face in our hands. We try to think of what to do. Say, is anything wrong? You look up and you see the kindly face of Miss Palmer, who works in the school office.
She is a little calmly.
First of all, this is fiction straight up. There's no one ever kindly who works in the school office. I don't know. I'm 5 minutes ahead of my own time, you say. Please look up and talk to me, Miss Palmer says. I want to help you. I am talking, you start to say, but then you realize Miss Palmer won't hear you for 5 minutes more. And she must think that you were sitting there silently. The only reason that she can see you at all is because you've been sitting in the same position for more than 5 minutes. Turn to page 90.
Oh, okay.
So, have we broken our record yet? Our streak of not dying? Do we make one more decision and break the all-time Samoflange record?
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing more you can do except explain everything as well as you can and hope that someone will be around 5 minutes from now to hear it. Fortunately, during the next few minutes, Miss Palmer gets the school nurse and the principal and your teacher, Miss Hawkins. They are all standing there 5 minutes after you've explained your situation so they can hear you while you're still sitting there in front of them. They take you to the hospital, where the doctors give you a sedative, and you fall sound asleep. Turn to page 102.
Okay.
Here we go. For crying out loud. For crying out loud. Then you wake up. Several doctors are standing by your bed talking to one another.
Oh, yeah.
Doctor. Next to them is a blackboard on which these words are written. When you wake up and read this, we won't know it because you are living several minutes ahead of the rest of us. It's for this reason we aren't talking to you. Erase this and write your own message. We will be able to read it in a few minutes. This is the way we will have to communicate. We don't know any cure for your strange condition, but we will do our best to help you. You read the message twice, feeling grateful that you are safe, that people understand what the problem is. You can sit up and think as hard as you can. What will you write on the blackboard? What will life be like if there are always to be 5 minutes ahead of everyone else? You think a moment and then write. Okay, before I read...
I have to poop. Oh, okay.
Here's the thing. I have had a whiteboard in my house because I have worked from home for the past 4 years. So I've had a whiteboard in my house, either on my refrigerator or in my office.
Right.
For 4.5 years now.
4.5.
Do you know the kinds of things people have written on this whiteboard when given free rein?
Kim was here.
And some markers.
Brad was here.
Oh, no.
Oh, a picture of a wiener and then Brad was here?
There you go. Yeah. So you would write,
talk about there for a minute.
I have to poop.
Yeah, you go.
Okay.
Poop.
Yeah, I want to know what in the comments people would write if you woke up and you were in this dilemma. What would you really write on the chalkboard?
What would you really write? Tell us what you really think.
What you really write is that I just want to go home. I guess I'd better take this blackboard with me. Turn to page 113. What's going on here? Did he just literally take the blackboard with him? His only means of communication?
I don't see how this is helping us because they're not going to see it till 5 minutes later.
5 minutes later, the doctors smile as they see you writing on the blackboard. Besides the blackboard, they give you a tape recorder and instructions to hand out to everyone so that people will understand how to deal with you. No doubt about it, life is going to be complicated from now on. At least you stand to make a lot of money at the horse races. The end. Yep.
So he made one decision, went 4 pages, and didn't have a decision.
And then you became Biff Tannen in Back to the Future Part 2.
Wow.
Yeah, bruh.
But not as cool.
We broke our
record.
record.
We can't celebrate with anyone. We're waiting for a high five for literally 5 minutes until they get around to it. Okay.
Literally 5 minutes.
So let's go ahead.
And then the illustration is just of a stupid hourglass that has way too much sand in it. It's full in the top and on the bottom.
I'm glad they took it well that we were 5 minutes ahead in the future.
Right?
I'm glad they didn't question that.
So far, I'm not impressed with the Cave of Time at all.
Well, let's go to page 100 and let's choose 105. Let's cross that road.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Because I told you we were going to do that. So let's
You notice cars coming along all the time. There are plenty of chances to cross, but how can you be sure you'll make it? You've got to take the risk. You dash across the street, and you make it! You head down the avenue. There's the bus station. Only one more street to cross. If you could just cross when it was green 5 minutes ago. You time the light with the second hand of your watch, and you find that it shines green for 60 seconds and then red for 60 seconds. All right, are they teaching us how to cross the street now?
If we're 5 minutes ahead, yes. Okay.
As it turns green, you think, it must have turned red 5 minutes ago. I should wait 1 minute, and then it will have been green 5 minutes ago. You time 1 minute on your watch. The light turns red. You look carefully. No cars are coming, and you feel sure none were coming 5 minutes ago. You dash across the street, and again you make it!
Good, because there are no cars. Why are you surprised?
I know, right? After 3 days of travel in which you have to change from bus to bus. 3 days?
What's going on?
Right. You're living like a bum, scavenging food wherever you can. You reach the Cave of Time. It's scary going back in. There's no doubt in your mind, but it's what you have to do. Yeah. Living 5 minutes ahead of your own time would be a miserable existence.
We know. We lived it.
We know. You are in such a rush that your eyes don't even have time to adjust to the dim in the light of the cave. You trip on a rock. You stumble. You fall. Suddenly you are sliding down a chute, headed for another time. Turn to page 66.
We have saved ourselves.
Right. And on page 66, you feel as if your mind has become detached from your body, that you are in a transport through time, and then reality returns. You are in a cave, close to the entrance, looking out. You can see that you are on a mountainside. A vast landscape of plains and lakes and patches of forest stretches beneath you. There is no sign of human habitation. You have the feeling that you may be living thousands of years in the past, perhaps even before the appearance of human life.
Oh.
In the distance you notice dark, moving specks, a herd of grazing animals perhaps. Where there's life, there's food, and hope for survival, you think. And maybe Ian Malcolm, because life finds a way.
Is that it?
No.
Oh.
Suddenly you sense a presence nearby. You whirl around and your eyes meet other eyes. They belong to a boy who looks older than you, even though he... I want you all to take a moment, rewind it, and listen to Matt's reaction in real time with the Cave of Time experience.
When I look into your... Never mind. Never mind.
His wavy brown hair is shoulder length, and he is naked. Wow. This just keeps getting better.
Except... Exit the cave. Exit the cave.
Get out of the cave, quick!
Get out of the cave. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Hey, Russ, have you ever seen a grown man naked? There you go. What's the other one? Have you ever been to a Turkish sweat camp?
Stop it. Stop it. Okay. He is naked except for the crudely fashioned shorts made of animal skins.
Oh, well, no one told me that. Thank God.
Oh, I mean, he's got crude shorts with animal skins, so I mean, he's good.
I wear crude shorts.
You wear crude shorts. He is solidly built and strikingly muscular. What is happening?
The cave.
What am I eating? His bushy eyebrows are set on bony ridges above his eyes, giving him a brutish look. Yet there's something sweet and friendly in his expression.
Oh, it's Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio likes you.
All right, keep going.
Turn to the next page. Hello, you say.
Okay.
Yark! The boy says. He steps close and looks curiously at you. And it's great because he says Yark, the boy replies, which was the main character in Star Wars Kenobi, was a Yark, right?
Oh, okay.
Wasn't
I don't know. I didn't see that.
You didn't read?
Oh,
it's right there on your shelf.
No, the book. I don't remember.
The main...
Was his name Yark?
A Yark.
Okay.
Was the main Tusken character.
Okay. He's in this?
She.
She.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert for Star Wars Kenobi. A Yark
there you go.
Is a female Tusken, so there you go.
Yark. A female Yark. Ray. A drop of golden sun. Okay, I'm sorry. Get on.
I gotta wait 5 minutes.
38 seconds before you can move on. All right.
At that moment, you hear a deep-throated growl.
Oh, yeah.
In the dim. Oh, it's the wolf from the Neverending Story. Yeah. In the dim light near the back of the cave, you can make out an animal of monstrous proportions. Maybe it is the wolf.
All right.
Okay. It's a gigantic cave bear, larger than any bear alive in your own time.
Guess.
Terrified. You stand watching. The bear edges closer. The boy touches you. Naruga! He pulls at your arm and then starts climbing the sheer wall of the cave, gaining handholds on rough ridges in the rock. You watch him with an amazement as he pulls himself up by his arms alone. A moment later, he slips into the cleft of the rock, safely out of reach of the bear. The bear follows the boy with his eyes and then turns toward you, lets out a roar that shakes your bones. You get the feeling that this is his cave, and you'd better do something fast.
Run, Goldilocks, run.
If you try to follow La'ark up the wall of the cave, turn to page 50. I feel like that's death waiting to happen.
Okay, what's the other choice?
If you run out of the cave, turn to page 56. That sounds like death waiting to happen.
Yeah, okay, 50. Let's do it.
Okay, page 50.
Let's do it. If Tarzan Jr. can do it, we can do it too.
Whoa. It is almost a never-ending story.
Bear. It's a bear. It's a bear coming out of the shadows.
Right. It's pretty scary stuff.
Scar.
Arark?
Yeah.
What was that wolf's name? It's going to bother me now. You leap high against the cave wall, grab a handhold, dig to the toe of your right foot into the tiny niche, and begin to climb. The bear is close behind you, breathing and snorting. You're able to climb a few feet higher, but the wall becomes even steeper above you. You desperately feel for a higher foothold. Suddenly your wrist is seized in a vice-like grip, and you feel yourself rising, then being hauled onto a ledge. Only then does the powerful grip release your wrist. Aching and sore, you look into the smiling eyes of Yark, and then back into the paws of the bear, raking the lip of the ledge, still trying to get at you. Og, says Lark. He starts crawling into a dark tunnel. You follow, hoping it will lead you out into the open. Instead, it leads you into an abyss, and you're falling, clutching Yark's arms, tumbling through the cave of time. Turn to page 93. We survived!
We did. All this for crossing the street. Jeez. Gamork is his name. I didn't know
Come
that.
for me, Gamork! How did you get that?
I just looked it up. There's something called the internet.
Oh.
Well, I know we're in the cave of time right now, but I looked at the cave of Google. I saw the answer. It was right there.
Suddenly you're waking as if from a dream. Once again, you're standing at the entrance of the cave of time, and something, maybe it's the smell of the air, or the temperature, or the faint sound of an airplane above, tells you that you are in your own time again.
Finally.
But maybe you never left. Maybe you were just asleep. Could it be that you were just dreaming? Ach, Lugar, says a voice you've heard before. It's Yark, walking toward you from the depths of the cave, a big smile on his broad face. Yark, you're here! I can't believe it! You shake your head, wondering what to do with your friend from the past. There's only one thing you can think of. Well, better come home and stay with me. You're going to need a place to stay.
Oh my gosh, it's the story to Encino Man.
It is Encino Man.
Frog. Okay.
So we've got another
woman.
Popular book that was inspired by...
You need to come on, buddy.
What page was I just on?
Oh, geez, 93.
93.
Keep reading.
I'm
reading.
double checking. Turn to page 22.
Oh, now we turn 22. Okay.
Yes. The two of you follow the trail back towards Uncle Howard's ranch. It's only a mile or so until you reach the road. You watch with amusement as Yark gasps at the sight of the trailer truck going by. You haven't seen anything yet, Yark. You're really gonna like TV and computers and jet planes. Yark grins at you. Schnoo, Ark! The end.
That's it?
I'm not even kidding you. We brought back
Encino Man.
Encino Man.
Okay.
And, I mean, that's an okay ending.
Brendan Fraser has good eyes, too, but no, I want to live forever, so...
I mean...
All right, let's...
So far, that's pretty good ending. Like, you get to live out Encino Man.
Let's run away from the cave. Let's go back to page 67.
You know what? I really...
The choice was...
I don't like how these are such lengthy.
They're lengthy. They
choices.
are lengthy.
Because secretly in my head, I'm reading all of this for the very first time. In my head, I have this theater-trained pressure to not just make this entertaining, but to also kind of like move it along, because I know people are listening to this and they're like, okay, I get it. Come on, let's go already. What's happening right now? Why am I listening to this podcast? What have I done with my life?
I want to know, first off, that's not the fun ending. We brought a caveman home with us.
I want to know what our listeners are. Why are you listening to this podcast right now?
But no, the thing is, screw them. We're reading through Choose Your Own Adventure right now.
You're right. Screw them.
I'm just saying, we brought a caveman home with us, but we weren't really friends with him. We just ran from a bear together. And now we're like fast buddies.
Came to live with us at home.
We're like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till you see TV.
Right. And at least
it's Encino Man.
The last time that we did that in one of these Choose Your Own Adventures, it was like A, a girl, and then B, we got to have choices to show her TV or make her believe we were from the magical Elfland or whatever. And it was great both ways around. Like, we had a good time. And we had our angry mom or whatever.
All right, let's run out of the... Is it run out of the cave? Is that what it is?
If we follow him up the wall, turn to page 50. If we run out of the cave, turn to 56.
Let's go. Now, you did say this is a bad idea.
I can't believe that we just... It doesn't matter. Hoping that the bear won't follow you beyond the cave, you race outside.
Yes.
Before you are grasslands... Oh, before you are grasslands sloping steeply towards a river far below.
Good.
The land is studded with large boulders. Quickly, you hide behind the nearest one. Peeking around the edge, you see the bear at the entrance of the cave. He stands sniffing the air.
Hello.
You just hope he won't catch your scent. Absolutely motionless, you wait, because a T-Rex can't see you if you don't move. A few minutes later, the bear turns around and goes back into the cave. Still trembling, you let out your breath. Then you think about the boy, Yark, and wonder if he has escaped.
Screw him.
He looked as if he could take care of himself. Maybe you can find his tribe. You hurry down the slope, weaving among the great boulders. At last, you reach the river. As you stop to consider your situation, you feel the terror of total isolation. You are lost, but not merely in the wilderness, but in a time, in the distant past, where civilization, if you ever find it, will be nothing more than a tribe of cave people.
Half-naked cave people.
I'm just going to let that sink in. You look around nervously.
Keep going.
I'm gonna give this is gonna be one of those boop moments where they boop and then you get to rewind it for like a few seconds and let you do that again. You look around nervously.
Yep.
It seems like only a matter of time until a bear or a wolf or some other carnivore, maybe one that doesn't even exist in your own time, gets you. Even if you escape predators, you'll probably starve to death. You feel tears welling up in your eyes. And then underneath the pines, you spy a large patch of mushrooms, and suddenly you realize you are very hungry. You can't be sure they're not poisonous, but you'll have to take some chances, you think. Otherwise, you are likely to starve to death. I feel like this is the...
Holy cow, the adventure continues.
The adventure continues.
Let's go.
If you eat the poisonous mushrooms or not.
Okay.
If you decide to risk eating some mushrooms, turn to page 107. This is on page 57.
Okay.
If you decide not to risk it, turn to page 30. Now, the audience of this book is a 10-year-old boy. Do you suppose they're teaching them to eat mushrooms and do drugs in the 80s? Or are we deciding not to risk it, go against the nature of this book, say, forego adventure, forego drugs, I'm going to starve to death instead?
Right now, I've seen an elongated lady, the end of the earth, and a caveman.
Don't forget Gamork, the bear.
And Gamork. And I'm going for the shrooms.
I think we're going for the shrooms.
107.
Like, what else could there be at this point?
Double down. Lock it in.
Did you ever watch Double Dare as a kid?
Yes, I did.
The slime show?
We're not taking the physical challenge. We already got rid of the bear.
Page 107. We are an illustration. We are surrounded by all sorts of mushrooms.
Good.
This is not the illustration that you know and love from The Lord of the Rings when he says, mushrooms! And they run towards them and, like, devour them.
Okay.
You bite into the first mushroom. It tastes rather strange, but not too bad, actually.
Oh, we're going to shrink like Alice.
And now you realize how hungry you are. Mm-hmm. It's been hours since you last ate. You eat another, and then another. Suddenly you feel a sharp pain in your stomach. You try to stand up, but you feel dizzy. Your head is spinning. You spit out the rest of the mushroom and stumble towards the river. After a few steps, you fall, writhing in pain. The mushrooms you ate were poisonous. You only have a few minutes left to live. The end. We didn't even get an acid trip, man. We just straight up died. And I told you.
Well, it's his fault.
That the audience of this book.
We didn't say eat more.
Is a
They didn't give us a choice.
He ate all of the mushrooms, not some of the mushrooms.
I just want to try out one and then wait 10 minutes before
ridiculous.
I went swimming.
That is the equivalent to the ocean water choice that I had before. It's like, remember when I was talking about this? When I was upset, as an actual 10-year-old boy in class, and I said, I didn't know that. Like, it said you can either sit on the ocean and die, because you're out in the middle of nowhere, or you can try to drink some of the water.
Yep.
That's the same choice that I just had.
That was the same choice.
And somehow I still knew
no different
that they would not be telling me to eat the mushrooms as a 10-year-old.
No different. You're right. You're right. No, you're right. Okay.
What page?
We are on page 38. No, well, yeah, we're going to page 38 because we're not eating the deadly shrooms.
Clearly.
Because we are not dumb as...
Oh.
We're not the dumbest.
But we're suddenly playing time stories, and we're in the 1600s.
Of course.
In England.
Which is what happens when you don't eat shrooms in the prehistoric age.
Right. I mean, that's my guess in the illustration that I've got here, where I'm standing next to... what's the captain's name?
Oh yeah,
Pirates of the
Commodore.
Caribbean. Commodore from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, that may be a modern major general.
This can't be right. Are we sure 38? Because it just jumps right to it. No.
Go back to 57.
57.
Because you said
page 30.
Oh, okay.
So
30.
at some point
page
we will
30.
At some point we will be in the
spoilers
Pirates of the Caribbean,
right.
And they're probably going to have.
That's the past.
They're probably going to give us some kind of like. Do you choose to make the crossing with or without limes or lemons?
Let's see.
And get scurvy and die.
It gets scurvy. Yeah, that's exactly what could happen.
Isn't that what was on the back flip?
That's what
you might die from scurvy. And didn't we learn when we were playing time stories that you need to have limes when you try to cross the ocean?
Yeah. Okay, so page 30.
Ignoring the mushrooms, you walk along the riverbank there. If there is a human settlement around, it's probably near the river, you think. And your instincts are right. For a moment, you smell smoke. Smoke! Smoke! People! Cooking! Food!
Half-naked people.
You quicken your pace, eager to find others and hoping that they will welcome you.
Yes.
A deep-throated growl sounds behind you.
Oh, dang it, Winnie.
Winnie?
The Pooh. It's the Pooh Bear.
Like a rabid Pooh?
Yeah.
The bear? I was thinking, you know what I first thought of when you said, dang it, Winnie? You know what I thought of? When you said, dang it, Winnie, I thought the Wonder Years. And, wasn't the girl that he had the crush on, wasn't her name Winnie? That was the first thing that came.
Wow.
Dang it, Winnie.
Wow. Okay.
She's standing by. He's typing on his computer.
And
she's just behind him going.
Okay, so he's back.
Darn it, Fred Savage. You whirl and see a strange animal, half bear, half cougar.
What?
Charging right at you.
That's kind of scary.
Its two long upper teeth are like a white pair of daggers. There's no time to run, no handy tree to climb. You brace yourself for the deadly onslaught. Look at this mess. Freaking Sabretooth.
That is weird.
Throwing us around. Turn to page 33.
Holy cow. All right, here we go. Page 33.
You hear a thump. And then with a yelp of pain, the animal swerves. Thump. Thump. It rolls over. Dead. 3 sharp rocks lie next to its body. Several pale-skinned, bearded men emerge from the woods.
Yes.
They are stockily built and have heavy, bony brows like the boy in the cave. You realize they are Neanderthals, a variant of your own species that coexisted with your ancestors from hundreds of thousands of years. They gather around you, talking in a primitive tongue. You strain to catch the meaning of their strange words. One of them smiles back and pats you on the back.
Oh, good.
The men lead you to the camp near the river, a flattened, gravelly area protected by a huge, overhanging rock. It strikes you as a poor shelter against winter storms, much less a flood. There are about 12 people in the camp, including a baby. They greet you with friendly curiosity. A woman gives you a crude bowl filled with berries, which you eat with gusto.
Oh, gee, have we learned nothing?
Right. He didn't even ask. Turn to page 89.
Page 89.
On page 89, we have a new illustration of us falling off of a cliff.
This is great.
This is great. Oh, I'm so happy about this.
Remember, we started going to the future, and we're still in the past.
Right.
The book has forced us to go to the past.
This is ridiculous.
Because it doesn't want to deal with the future.
To your relief, the tribe takes you in. Through your despair of ever mastering their strange language, you are able to learn to hunt and fish and gather food. You make friends with almost everyone in the tribe. In fact, there is only one Neanderthal that makes you uneasy. Vor is a boy, about your age, who likes to come up and jab you with a stick, call you names that you can't understand. This son of a... is like bully.
Yeah.
The Neanderthals are generally peaceable and easygoing peaceful.
Except for Biff.
Except for Biff Tannen, and the adults don't seem to know what to make of Vor. When he jabs or taunts you, they turn their eyes and look the other way. One day, while you are picking cloudberries high up on the cliffs that borders the river, Vord jabs you so hard that you almost fall to your death. You turn on him, but he throws down his stick and stands, feet wide apart, ready to battle. The Neanderthals are much stronger than modern humans, and you know you haven't a chance in hand-to-hand combat. So you just walk away and return to camp. Turn to page 96.
Okay.
That doesn't feel like a choose-your-own-adventure.
We're not choosing our... We didn't do anything. It seems like that would have been a good moment to choose.
Right.
That's odd.
I'm confused by this. One evening, soon afterward, the chief calls everyone around the fire and begins a long speech. You have trouble making out what he's saying, but you get the gist of it, it seems. This is the gist. The reindeer are leaving, heading east on their annual migration. Is this Icewind Dale?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Food will be soon scarce here, and the tribe must pack up and follow the herd. One member of the tribe, a young man named Azog, has made a raft. He has decided to use it to journey down the river in search of better land. Two others, Larga and her daughter, Me, have agreed to accompany them. Yeah. Me is a girl about your age, whom you like very much.
Oh, woman.
Mm-hmm. You must bring us a shrubbery, the chief says. No, that's not right.
That'd be awesome.
I'm sorry. That would be better. The chief speaks of how he will miss Azog, Larga, and Me. He wishes them good luck. Looking at you, he adds, Sag. All right. You understand. You must decide whether to go with the tribe and follow the reindeer migration, or whether to join Azog, Larga, and Me on a raft trip down the river into the land of the unknown. So now we have a choice. Now I feel like we're Tom Sawyer. Okay. Literally, we need to choose this adventure. That's my vote. Next Saturday.
Morning.
Samoflange.